Folks, you know the situation with Nolan Wells. This situation is heating up. Everybody's getting into this. Everybody's talking about this story. It's tragic. 8-year-old boy vanished, on during the 4th of July on a boating trip with his friends. His friends that was white. This is where the controversy began at because a lot of black folks think that, he was set up, he was killed because he was the only black. There were a bunch of white folks. It could have been for fun, initiation into a group or whatever the case may be, but they know there's a foul play going on. And then, and most black folks know, from history, you don't go on all these trips with white folks, if you're the only black there. You need to have your friends there too with you just in case something happen, go down. It is what it is, and people are mad, saying that, how y'all making this out to be a racial thing? It is a racial thing. Shoot. A lot of stuff is happening now, out here under the Trump administration. Tug the Builder and stuff like that, and Charlie Kirk, and, this other dude that's running around. They got arrested, finally got arrested, going in jail for harassing black people. All this stuff going on. What do you think people are going to think? What's his race? But apparently his body washed up on shore 3 days, and apparently there was no cause of death, even though they did an autopsy. The family's really distraught, so they got an independent person to do the autopsy to find out what's wrong. And that was paid by Colin Kaepernick, and the funerals won't be paid by Tyler Perry. Everybody's getting aboard with this. Benjamin Crump is now the family lawyer, and Al Sharpton is there as the spokesperson and making sure that things get done the right way. So everybody's on board with this, and they should be. At this point in time, it doesn't matter what you think about Benjamin Crump or Al Sharpton. This situation here need to be handled because old history, a lot of black folks died in the same type of situation where they went to party and whatever trips with white folks, and there was only a black person there, and then all of a sudden something happened to them. Either they end up missing, got killed, got hurt, or get thrown in jail, while the whites, nothing happened to them. It just is what it is. So we hope this gets sorted out.